Are we hot?
We're hot. Am I too bright? Is this zebra too hard? I just feel like I see Jake Paul's. This is a good way to start. I see Jake Paul's vlogs and a lot of people's vlogs blowing out the whites really hard.
Yeah.
Like the really hot, like the bright colors are just like totally blown out. And I feel like that might be, I don't know if they know some sort of psychological trick like that makes people watch longer or something.
Just makes it pop.
But I have noticed as a professional video person that they blow out the brights really hard.
Let's blow it out.
Welcome to the Impaulsive Postcast, the unofficial wrap-up podcast for Logan Paul's new podcast, Impaulsive.
I think it's safe to say it is official.
We are in the same...
I'm going to say it right now, so this is it. Welcome, everyone. If you're here, you're obviously a fan of Logan Paul and his new podcast, which has just hit their 7th episode mark. We meant to start a little bit earlier, but we didn't know if they were going to survive the 7 days. And they might not be coming back. They said that this might be the last one.
Yeah, they had a running joke that most podcasts don't make it past 7. So now that they made it there, we feel confident that we could do a show like this.
Which is why
we didn't want to take a risk. We've got a whole crew, all these people that are depending on us, that we just want to make sure it was a sure thing.
But yeah, so basically what the Impaulsive Postcast. We basically
it's like The Talking Dead, if you've ever seen The Talking Dead.
This is The Talking Dead. We're both Chris Hardwick of that analogy. So basically we're just going to break down the podcast, talk about what happened. First off, let's start by saying who the podcast is.
Should we say who we are?
Yeah, probably. I'm Zach, co-host and brother to
Ryan, also co-host. We do a show called Trash Cast, which we haven't had an episode in a while, but we are experts on social media.
We're still a part of the Trash Cast network.
Yeah.
And the Zero Hunter Collective.
And we have other podcasts. I have one called That's All Folks, where we talk about the Paul brothers a lot. Zach has one called Zach Show Live, where we talk about the Paul brothers, but we wanted to do something just for Impaulsive.
That's right.
I'm a heavy podcast listener. I feel like I'm even not just we say we're self-proclaimed Paul brother experts. Mm-hmm. And it helps that we're both brothers too. I think that gives us an edge on the competition, the other Paulologists.
It's true.
But also, what was I going to say?
You were talking about, we have this unearthly perspective. We're also from Ohio, Cleveland area.
I was going to say I'm also a podcast connoisseur. I've been listening to podcasts for so long, and so it's like two of my interests merged, podcasts and Logan Paul. So,
and you got me into podcasts, and I don't listen to many podcasts, but I love doing podcasts, and guys, go ahead and give us a review.
If you're listening to this right now, there's also a video version, FYI. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
I'm going to upload this too. If you're a podcast listener and you don't want to see this shit, I don't think I'm going to edit this really ever, so like all you're going to see you're going to see our hand gestures and our expressions. But I'm not going to add like graphics or anything like that.
Yeah. But anyways, let's get into it. Let's get into the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it so far. I guess we should say who's in the podcast. Number one.
I mean, if you're listening to this, right? Like, who's listening to the Impaulsive Postcast?
I think we got to introduce. Okay, let's just go.
Yeah, I guess just like we'll give like, yeah.
Right.
The Impaulsive Podcast so far has been a live TV. There are a lot, video plus audio.
The works.
There have been 7 episodes. Like I said, they've been going for 2 weeks. So they did 3 last week, 3 before that. Today's Monday, and they did finally their 7th episode. And Logan said that they're adding an extra 7 minutes. Well, he didn't say how many. They're adding an extra bonus episode for the audio only version because we talked about this earlier. Logan Paul's fans are mostly little kids who don't listen to podcasts.
Yeah, they're not listening. They're not. Going about their everyday life just listening to something while trying to drown out like their everyday life, like at their job. So they don't really. They're just like, I'll just fucking watch it. Like
that's true. That is what podcasts are. Like little kids don't really have the time in their lives that adults have where they just need something.
Yeah, they're fine with nothing.
But so he's incentivizing those kids to go actually start being a podcast listener by saying there's something that you won't get on the video version, which is kind of crazy.
Me personally, I've just watched them. I've listened to parts, but mostly watched them because I have the option to. And I've
listened to some. I've probably watched about half.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Like, who's your favorite podcast member? So far. Oh, actually, I wish we could edit that. We can't edit it, but I just want to say, hey, I'm Zach. I like plants. I was gonna steal that. I fucking forgot.
So is Spencer your favorite person?
He's the one I know the least about, so that's why I'm interested in him, and I want to like him. So I'll say that. Spencer, if you're watching, you seem like a great guy. You were talking about your girlfriend taking it to the next level. Good for you. That's great. I'd love to get you on the postcast and pick your brain.
I want to have a critique for Spencer. I actually wrote it down.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You say head on a swivel a lot, and I know like it's pretty nerve-wracking, like being on camera and like having to like you sort of default to like you get a. I notice this with myself. Whenever I get under pressure, my vocabulary gets decreased to like 5% of what I usually have available, and I tend to keep repeating the same words.
True.
Like, I get it. Look, but I just noticed you've been saying head swivel a lot.
Right. Keep your head on a swivel. Maybe like let's give him some alternatives. Like keep your cool. Like
Well, he just means like keep your head like be aware. Keep your eyes peeled. It's definitely
right. Oh, true. Okay, gotcha.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Be aware. Don't relax.
Try to
stay
alert.
Just work on it. But I will say, Spencer, you keep bringing up the thing about pooping with a relationship. Like
he brought that up more than once.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he brought it up a couple episodes ago.
I missed that.
I swear he did. Maybe he didn't. Maybe that's in my mind. But I think it's funny because you're probably at that stage in his relationship right now where you said he has a girlfriend right now. He probably hasn't pooped in front of her, and he's just wondering how long it's going to take before they're pooping in front of each other.
It sounded like that he was pretty serious with his girlfriend, so I think they probably passed that point.
You think so already?
I mean, I don't know. Like,
I bet you that's right. I bet he was right in the zone where he wants to.
I don't know. Spencer, let us know. Guys, let us know if you
Have you ever got to poop level?
Me? Yeah. I don't think it's hard for me to get to poop level. Like what? Like are we talking about actually pooping literally in front of someone?
Yeah. On the podcast.
No. I thought it was just at their house. That's what they said.
Mm-mm. I think it's like not only it's like all levels. So and just the whole spectrum, like pooping at their house, pooping with them near you, maybe, and eventually leading all the way to the episode. Let's get to today's episode. Austin Mcbroom of the Ace family. Right. I didn't know. I heard of the Ace family before.
Same.
But I didn't know much about them at all. This is actually the thing I do like about this podcast is like I feel like I am sort of an expert on social media and influencers, but it's so fucking massive that I actually don't know anything.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see all these people come on, but he talked about him and his wife. He says, he's like, honey, him and his toilet paper. It's that comfortable. That level. That level, like you've never been like that, right?
No, fuck no.
I don't even
want to be in the same. I don't think that's I don't know. Like I feel like that's something that would take a while.
I feel
it's pretty damn vulnerable with the turd hanging halfway out of my butt. Like I don't think that there would ever be a time when I'm comfortable enough to have someone like brushing their teeth. Like it's not like a fucking like college like dorm, like, you know, it's not like a public like restroom which like someone taking a crap next to you, like whatever, like that's I guess you're just used to that. But I don't know, that also brings up like just pooping like in like whatever places didn't have doors on the stalls, and then like you had to take a poop. You know what I mean? Like I would never do it. Fuck, like unless I was really desperate. I don't think I've ever had it. Have you?
Pooped without a door?
Yeah, like at a public restroom.
You remember when we took did you ever have to do the camping trip in like 6th grade where we went camping to Mohican?
Yeah.
And it was like a school thing.
We went to Mohican.
The only doors they had on the stalls at Mohican were just like shower curtains. And that wasn't enough for me at that age.
Oh, really?
And I held my poop all week.
Oh my God.
It wasn't good. I felt sick all week.
Wow. That's a long time to go. But I mean,
it was maybe like, I think I finally pooped on the 5th day or something.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, I vaguely remember that. But yeah, I mean, that it used to make me more uncomfortable, but I think actually like being in college and like, I don't know, like you just stop caring. It's like whatever, you're so used to it. But
I would say the thing though, I don't think I ever got to the point where like, I don't even think I would, maybe I would want to get to the point with a girl where I'm in the room with her pooping and I'm fine with that. But maybe I'm immature, but I feel like that would almost make her less sexy. You know? You almost want to keep the illusion alive that she doesn't poop.
Yeah. I guess I get what you're saying.
Not that she doesn't.
But you just don't even want to see that
Yeah.
that act of like human. Just raw human.
But what if like real love is that? What if you finally, I guess that's probably what
you're like
say.
turned on by someone taking a shit?
No,
like,
you know what I thought
you
about?
get like a smell of their turds and you're like, oh.
Well, the last episode, Jay Alvarez was like, he eats his girl's booties. Like, he's always eating booties.
Right. I mean, what did he mean by that exactly? Because I was a little bit confused.
I think he means tongues in the beehole. I know, they don't go into the details on Matt.
Yeah.
I'd say that's one critique of Impaulsive is like, he said eat the booty. And I've heard the phrase before, but I would love him to go into the details of what he means by that.
Yeah.
But I think he means tongue in the butthole.
I kind of just thought he meant just going down and just like...
No. I think he's meant eat your girl's booty.
I guess. Yeah.
You gotta eat your girl's booty. What I was thinking though, I've heard... Cause like...
Yeah, okay.
But I was thinking if I were a guy who loved eating booty, I would eventually, you would taste poop, and eventually, Pavlovian style, with the dog ringing the bell and getting fed, and a bell makes the dog salivate. The smell of poop would make you horny.
Yeah.
And I remember that there was that I heard about this one gay bar, like a really exclusive Bears or something, where the guys would bring poop to the bar in Tupperware and just like open it because it was like that would turn guys on.
They literally just like open it up, just like
people would be like, "Ooh, someone's fucking around here." Like the smell
wow.
For gay dudes, the smell of poop really, at least for this set of them,
right.
It was like an aphrodisiac. It was like.
I mean, I guess you could argue that there's anyone having like anal sex. It doesn't necessarily.
Eventually, you're right.
But
eventually, if you like anal sex enough, unless like they're super clean with their butt, which you can't be. I don't think you can. Like you have to do a lot of work. It's gonna smell like poop.
You can be with the new bidet.
Oh yeah, this would be great if they sponsored me. I just bought a bidet on Amazon, and I'm a bidet user now.
I just bideted earlier. I'm still not totally sold. The first time was extremely alarming. This time I kind of took a recommendation from Ryan and kind of like, once you get past the initial blast, you kind of like, okay, and you kind of have to like move around a little bit to like, but I still didn't feel like, I just felt like I had more of a wet butt. I mean.
You didn't feel cleaner?
I did feel cleaner. I did feel cleaner, but like, so you're just supposed to be using less toilet paper. That's the...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I probably use about 5 squares at maximum now.
Yeah. What were you used to, like a 10 square guy?
I feel like I was probably in the 30s. It depends on the poop.
I guess
I could go triple digits.
I guess you're kind of
bad poop.
But now I feel like maybe you're just strictly a 5.
Yeah.
A 5
Because
square
I'm just
guy.
drying off. That's like a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not different from time to time.
Guys, let us know.
Let us know how many squares you use.
How many squares you use, and if you ever used a bidet, and how your experience was. Because I think that's I would be interested to hear some different. There's probably some good stories, honestly. Let's move on. What else do we got in your notebook here?
I mean,
I guess
Ace Family.
Let's talk about like his first guest was his first guest was the sex expert, which
I guess
honestly
this first postcast is gonna be maybe just talking about all of them.
Right? Yeah.
I didn't really have much to say, other about this episode in particular.
It was funny. I thought the first episode was funny because they just seemed like a new podcast. So like it was pretty.
Fun. It was
like Mike had to get up.
Did you say they had a sex expert?
Yeah. I said, and Mike had to get up and leave because he was like uncomfortable. He said he had a case of the heebie-jeebies, which like I get it, but like was just fucking funny.
It was funny that and they talked about it later how he had to start meditating afterward. Like he's been meditating and he's been a lot calmer now because that first episode he geeked out, which is hilarious.
Yeah, and it was kind of the very beginning of the podcast, and it was already like that like raw moment. You're like, okay, that's just happened.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll give props to Mike, but I just want to point out it's funny that sex expert was there and he was like loudly proclaiming that like condoms feel bad, like they don't feel good.
Yeah,
and I have to say like I don't know who, like, are there no material scientists out there working on a better condom? Like, they do not feel good.
I think there are.
Why isn't there a lot more money behind, like, condoms getting better? Like, safe sex is pretty important, and they don't feel, like, they feel fine, but it's like...
You're with Mike, is what you're saying.
I'm with Mike. I'm telling you, the feeling turns from, like, a 100 to, like, a 10%.
Wow.
I don't know. You don't agree?
I wouldn't go quite that extreme, but...
Alright. Shit.
What's up?
Just getting some snaps.
Oh. Well, you know, that brings me to the second episode, which was this Babe, right? The Babe?
What was her
Summer
name?
Rae.
Summer Rae at Babe Town, for sure.
Yeah. And then... They've kind of just had other social media influencers, and I guess that's going to be their thing.
What it's going to be.
Which
is I think they probably want the sex expert type guests more, but I think that what's available to them is every influencer.
I thought it was interesting that they started with the sex expert.
I think it's there's lots of cuts because my camera keeps shutting down. That's what the jump cuts are. I'm gonna be transparent with you. The crew is new.
Expect more.
Actually, most of the time, we're probably just going to be talking on Skype.
Yeah.
The fact that we're in the same room right now is that's going to be unusual for this podcast, I'm sure.
But we wanted to do it kind of more like the actual, like Impulsive. They're there together, so we wanted
to at least start off that way.
So let's dig into these guests. So you said they start big.
Yeah, I think that probably he wants more people like that. I think he wants scientists. I think he wants people that they can ask questions to. But I think like they're doing 3 shows a week. Who's available to them? Not a scientist every day. I'm sure they have maybe one on scheduled coming up. But I feel like that was him. The first episode was him saying like, "This is the kind of show I want to do." Something like a Joe Rogan podcast, where he has like actual experts come in and where they can be the dumb people, and the expert can say actual facts. I think that's what they want. But the influencer stuff is interesting, just because it's an interesting world that I don't know much about.
It is interesting, and I mean, I was telling someone that like I was like, I mean, say what you want about like Logan Paul, but I was like, I'm interested to hear these perspectives of these influencers who all really like Logan, or at least seem to,
or at least respect him enough to be associated with him.
Right, like
podcast.
Like this Jay Alvarez dude was saying, look, I don't do stuff like this. He said that like many times. He's like, like I'm gonna tell you on your podcast because like, I mean, maybe that's just something that he's saying. So he's like, maybe that's just like a networking thing. You know, you're just acting like you're.
I think a lot of these people just aren't ever, like we said, like podcast. Logan Paul has incentivized these fans to go listen to the audio version because they're not podcast people, and I think like people his age aren't podcast people. Nobody is.
True.
Not only guests, but like
Right.
Not listeners and not guests.
I'd be interested to hear what podcasts they listen to. All of the hosts.
True. If you guys, our goal is to be on the show. I'd say.
Yeah.
If you guys are listening to this, what podcasts do you like?
Yeah, we want to be on the show.
We'd love to be like regulars.
I would love to have the set next to that they could cut to.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was just about to say. I was gonna say like the Muppets. You know, like the old man Muppets that like just heckle.
Yeah. Oh, that's us.
I want to be up.
Like,
I want to be up in the rafters.
Yeah.
Just like up in the lights.
Oh my god, that'd be fucking sweet. Yeah. So. Yeah. What else we got? Ryan took notes. I'm full poop to scoop, and if you don't know what that means it's just off the cuff.
I'm gonna take notes. I think I'm gonna try to take notes when I watch, just because I forget.
I'll try to take notes. But I will say I was saying that my favorite guest was Wampa, who I'm not sure what his last name is.
I actually have notes from that episode.
But yeah, Wampa, this Mexican, was the biggest Mexican social media influencer. He just seemed cool. I said that it was probably the most real.
Wampa Zarita. Yeah, I do like Wampa a lot.
He just seemed pretty real, and he was like having a good time, and he made everyone else kind of loosen up because they've been a little tight. And I know that we maybe seem tight. I feel a little tight. It's the first podcast. I get it. I sympathize with it. Yeah.
And also, like,
I'm not used to being. I'm more of just a voice on podcasts.
It's weird. When we do the videos here, I feel like I'm just using a different part of my brain for some reason.
Yeah, because I'm normally just staring like.
I'm just usually I'm pacing around the room. That's usually what I do, is just pace.
Yeah, it's a good way to think.
But we could maybe now if we shoot on Skype, I'll still be able to pace.
True.
That'll be good.
So, Wampa was a great guest. He had a lot of fun stories, and he seemed like, I don't know, it was good. What you got here?
I want to say the thing that was interesting to me in this very last episode with Austin Mcbroom. He said that they were talking about right off the bat that his net worth was $4.3 million.
4.5, I think they said.
Yeah, I don't remember actually. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But somewhere around there. And Mike came back to it in a really rude way when he wouldn't say how much he's actually worth or how much he has.
Right. They did this thing where like I make enough money, I do all right, I drive a nice fucking car, blah blah blah.
And then like Mike came back around to it, and pretty rude Mike. But then Logan was like, no influencer will tell you that number. Like, you won't get an influencer to tell you how much money they actually have, because I think it's so interesting because they're all flexing so hard. Like, they want to look successful, but they will never tell you the truth, because the truth is probably Donald Trump, he doesn't have any money.
Yeah.
Logan Paul doesn't have a lot of money. He has a lot of people invested in him, potentially making a lot of money, and that's what a lot of them are. And so they need to look rich now.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, but he brought it back up, which, I mean, in the way that he did it, it was kind of funny. Like, I mean, I was like, okay, but then he really like fucking,
he really
like,
wanted to know.
You jammed in on it.
He wanted to know.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to get the fucking juice flowing.
Yeah, Mike's a business first kind of guy.
Right, and I guess that's just a question that you just make someone uncomfortable enough that they'll like maybe give you some kind of answer, but. Yeah,
Mike, we'd love if you sent us a love sack. Actually,
yeah. What are those?
He keeps bringing up that that's like something he still does work for. Is a company called Love Sack. These giant like bean bags.
Oh, those are the ones that Olga Safari was sitting on. Oh yeah. I mean, I hopefully that we'll be sitting in our own like area with our love sacks.
If you send us some love sacks, we'll shout you out.
We'll fucking shoot some. Postcasts on the love sacks.
Yeah. Anything? I thought it was funny that his kid watched Ryan's Toys review. That was just like hilarious. If you guys know what Ryan's Toys review is.
Austin Mcbroom's kid
watches Ryan's Toys reviews, which is a really funny YouTube channel. And like monster star, like to babies.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
He
sure.
has his own like toys and clothing line at Walmart. Like that's how big.
He's fucking killing the game, basically.
Yeah. So funny, like he just lost his first tooth.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll just say they said some really sexist shit this episode. I don't even want to get into it, but they said some really sexist stuff about like my future wife can never show her ass on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like fuck you. Like
yeah. And
like,
he
such a double standard.
He caught some. He talked about getting backlash, and then he's still like standing on it.
Yeah,
so.
And he kept talking about how much he wanted a boy and how sad he is when he keep like just like how tragic that would be if he was like a guy who had 4 daughters and no sons.
Yeah.
It's just like such like a fucking 2,000-year-old mentality where like girls are trash and like boys are like the only thing people want.
Well, I mean, he was saying he loved having daughters.
Yeah, I know.
He was, but yeah.
They just kept harping on the fact that they all want boys.
Right. That's kind of a classic, like, bro, like, mentality.
And Mike said, "Can you turn a hoe into a housewife?" It's
yeah,
just
like, that one was like, I was like, why? That's a really dumb question. And why are you gonna ask somebody that who's also married? And they were like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they maybe crossed the line a little bit with him. Like he was probably kind of
I would say if they can keep being as sexist as they want, and I appreciate that they're letting it all hang out.
Yeah.
You know, talking how they might actually talk, and I'm sure it's way worse when they're not recording.
Yeah.
But I would say if that's going to be the case, like bring somebody on who can tell you why not to be sexist. Like bring somebody who's like a social justice warrior. I'll actually tell you who to bring on. Frickin' I know her, sort of.
Let me get into my Rolodex of social justice warriors.
No, she goes on like CNN and like NBC and stuff talking about Liz Plank.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Have Liz Plank on and have like a combo with her because she'll talk to you. I mean, I don't even know if she'll go on your show. She might be one of those people that wouldn't give.
I think she would.
But I would say like as long as you're willing to make mistakes and like admit that, I mean, I know you already have admitted you made a big mistake and did it on camera, but just to like acknowledge that your current mentality toward women is pretty bad and go find some people that you can learn from. I don't know. Don't just stay in your comfort zone, I guess is what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Have guests that will challenge you.
So I just wanted to maybe switch gears, and the one joke that you did like, the like and subscribe joke, you did say you appreciated.
Oh yeah, I did like that. No, I'm a big podcast head, and honestly, it's a lot to deal with 3 podcasts a week, and now whoever's watching this is gonna have to deal with the postcast.
That's right.
I think they're gonna be a little shorter than this one.
Probably a little bit.
Like a little bit. This one's the first one, but yeah. I appreciate the show. Yeah, when he said,
guys,
Wampa, what did Wampa say?
He said it was like a saying that was like, life is good, enjoy it, basically. And it was in Spanish, and he like said it, and he took to Logan. He's like, do you know what that means? And Logan said, yeah, that means like
life is great. Like and subscribe.
Yeah. So it was just
yeah, in the context of the episode. Funny timing.
You guys are laughing about it right
now. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great show. I'm looking forward to the rest of it and also looking forward to being guests.
Yeah, I can't wait to get a couple of guests on. We're hoping to maybe get some of the same guests that were on the actual podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So look forward to continuing this conversation. And until next time, like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Anything else we have to say at the end of the podcast? Yeah, subscribe.
We'll work on it.
Subscribe to our podcast. Tweet at Logan and stuff about it.
Yeah, tweet at Logan, tweet at Mike and Spencer.
Tell them what you thought. Tell them like you have. I don't know what. Just have us on or tell them about the podcast.
We'll see, guys. We got 6 more episodes. See if it lasts.
What's Logan's theme song?
See you next time, fam. Take it easy, peace.
Does he say that at the end of the podcast?
Yeah, he does. Take it easy, fam. Peace.
Take it out.
Thank you. I love you, bro. Bye. See ya.